Hello everybody, it's Crystal. So today I'm going to be showing you how to make this sunflower granny square. Someone asked me if I would do another sunflower granny square. Of course I will. I do have another one. So this one is different. It's a 10-inch granny square, and it's very, I think it's pretty, turned out pretty. Of course, you don't have to make it a sunflower. You could use any color you want for the flower, you know. And it's not really hard. I'll show you how to go do it all. You're going to need to know the basic stitches of crochet, though. Single crochet, double crochet, triple crochet, stuff like that. Other than that, it's pretty easy. Use this for bags, shirts, or tops, blankets, sew them together, whatever your mind can think of. It could be used for. So do you guys want to go ahead and get started? I'll show you about what yarn I used, okay? Sorry, I'll show you the back side too. I have a tail I didn't hide yet. There's the back. All right, so for that particular square, I used a 3-weight yarn and it made it 10 inches. You don't have to use 3-weight yarn. You can use any yarn that you like. And I actually used a cotton. You don't have to use cotton. You can use any yarn that you like, depending on what you make with it. But for that particular square that you see there, I used KC cotton, which you can purchase online at Joann's. It is a DK, or a 3-weight 100% cotton yarn. So for the flower itself, I used the color Golden Coast. For the weight, I used the color Cream. For the leaves, I used the color Grassy Knoll. And for the center, that bumpy center of the sunflower, Sequoia. So those were the 4 colors that I used. There's 180 yards per ball, so the brown probably took like 30 yards at the most. Yellow took the most, probably 150 yards. 140, 150. Green, 75 yards. I'm just guessing 80 maybe. White, 90, 100 yards. Something like that per square. Now remember, that is quite a big square. It's 10 inches across. So, oh, and for that particular yarn, I used the size, what did I use here? I used the size H, which is a 5mm crochet hook. But remember, depending on what you're doing with that and what yarn you're using, you use whatever yarn and hook you want, okay? Depending on, make whatever you want with it. All right, let's do it. Alrighty, so we're going to start out, excuse me, with a slip knot on our hook. And I'm going to work a chain of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to be slip stitching back into the first chain to form a ring. If you want to use a magic circle here, that would be just fine too. But I'm going to make my ring like this, slip stitching into that first chain of my chain 5. And now I have a ring that I can work into. So I'm going to start off and I'm going to chain 1. Now that chain 1 does not count as a stitch. I am going to triple crochet through the center of the ring. So I yarned over twice, 1, 2, because that's how we do the triple. And I'm going to put my hook through the ring and grab my working yarn and pull it back out through the ring. And then I'm going to go ahead and finish out my triple crochet as we normally would. Just like that. So we have 1 triple crochet through the center of the ring. Now I'm going to do a single crochet through the center of the ring. So that was 1 triple and 1 single. And that's going to be the repeat until I have a total of 12 stitches. So again, I'm going to triple crochet through the center of the ring. and then I'm going to go back in and single crochet. So that's 4 stitches that I've done so far. And it's okay if it's looking kind of bunchy and whatnot. Once we're done with the center of the sunflower, we will be flipping our work where the bumpies are on the correct side, and we'll be working on that side. So right now we're actually working on the reverse side. So again, we're going to repeat that. I'm going to do a triple crochet. Man, I'm making it look hard. It's not hard. And then we're going to do a single. So that was 6 stitches I've done so far. So we want to repeat the triple crochet, a single crochet, a repeat until we have a total of 12 stitches here. And I'll meet back up with you at the beginning of row 1. All right, so I've come to the end of row 1, and your last stitch should have been a single crochet. You should have a total of 12 stitches. And we're going to go ahead and end by slip stitching into our first stitch, which is the first triple crochet. That ends round 1. Now what you can do is usually pull your tail and close up that center circle a little bit more, and then later on we can sew it shut all together if it doesn't sew shut. I'll say, okay, so for round 2, we're going to chain 1 again, which does not count as a stitch. Now we're going to work right back into that very same stitch that we just worked into. And we are going to put a triple crochet into that same stitch. And a single crochet into the same stitch. And that is what we're going to repeat for round 2. Every single stitch from the previous row is going to get 1 triple and 1 single. And don't forget the single crochets. They look a little small, but we have to go into them and we have to put a triple crochet into them. And back in and a single crochet. And then we move on to the next stitch right here, which was a triple crochet from the previous row, and we do the same. Triple crochet into it. And single crochet into the same stitch. So this is what I'm going to repeat for round 2. Every single stitch from the previous row is going to get 1 triple crochet and 1 single crochet all the way around. And when you make it back around, you should have a total of 24 stitches. So I will see you when I make it back around to the end of round 2. All right, so I've made it to the end of row 2. Your last stitch should have had a triple and then a single, and you should have a total of 24 stitches. We're going to go ahead and end by slip stitching into our first triple crochet here. It's kind of set back there on a side, but because remember we are working this particular stitch on the back side because that's how it's worked. So you know, it's always got to be difficult. There we go. So that ends round 2. So when we flip it over, you'll be able to see I made a little bumpy, maybe to kind of look like sunflower seed. I don't know. So we're going to start round 3. Chain 1 does not count as a stitch. So we're going to start off this time. Let me look here. What do we want to do? Okay. We're going to go right back into this very first stitch here that we just slip stitched into, and we're going to work 1 triple crochet into that stitch. So just 1 triple into that one. And now the next stitch we will put 1 single and then 1 triple. So we will go into the next one right here, and we since we just did a triple, the next stitch is going to get 2 stitches, but we have to start with a single since we just did a triple. And we also have to put a triple crochet in that same stitch. So our circle keeps increasing, it gets bigger. So the next stitch was a single and then a triple. So this is going to be the repeat for round 3. We are going to go to the next stitch, and we're going to do, well, let me see here. What we just end in? We did 1 triple and then a single and a triple. Okay, we got to make sure that our singles and our triples are opposite each other. So our next stitch, the first stitch is, one stitch is going to have 1 stitch and the next stitch is going to have 2. One stitch will have 1 stitch and the next will have 2, but they'll be opposite. Like our first stitch had 1 triple crochet, our second stitch had a single and a triple, and now when we repeat that, since we ended a triple, our next stitch that just gets 1 stitch is going to be a single crochet, just 1. And then the next stitch that we put 2 in is going to be a triple crochet start, because we got to keep those triple single crochets going in order. And then also a single crochet into the same stitch. All right, so that's the repeat now, this whole thing that I just did for a row 3. Let's go ahead and do it again. Okay, so we'll start out triple crochet into the next stitch. Sorry if that was confusing. I'm going to break it down right now. This is the repeat. Triple crochet into the next. And then the next stitch is going to get 2 stitches. It's going to be start with a single crochet, but also into the same stitch we're going to put a triple crochet. And then the next stitch is going to get 1 stitch. It looks a little small, but there it is. It's going to get 1 stitch. It's going to get 1 single crochet. And then the next stitch will get 2 stitches, but it's going to start with a triple crochet. And it's going to get a single crochet in it as well. And that is the repeat for row 3. Again, we'll do it again. Triple crochet once into the next stitch. And then the next stitch will get 2 stitches in it. We're going to start with a single crochet in it and a triple crochet into that exact same stitch. And then the next stitch is pretty small, but there it is. It gets 1 stitch. It's going to get 1 single crochet in it. And then the next stitch is going to get 2 stitches, and we are going to start this one with a triple crochet. And in the same stitch we will put a single crochet. All right, so that's what we're going to repeat for round 3. So it's triple crochet, the next stitch will be single crochet, triple crochet. The next stitch will be single crochet, the next stitch will be triple crochet, single crochet. All the way around, and we make it back around. We should have a total of 36 stitches, and I'll see you there in just a second. All right, so I've made it to the end of round 3. Now, if you had to redo that 157 times like I did, don't feel bad. I kept missing those tiny single crochets, but I got it. I prevailed, and I finished, and I have made it to the end of. It's really not hard. I was just missing these little tiny stitches. 36 stitches. Your last stitch should have been a triple crochet, then a single crochet. And then we're going to end by slip stitching into our first triple crochet That will end row 3. Now row 4 will be the last row of the base. I'm going to be a little bit more cautious this time not to miss these teeny tiny little single crochets. Alright, so now we got to bump up this 36 stitches to 48. So, chain 1. And we are going to go back into the very first stitch. I'll just keep at it. Triple crochet into that very first stitch. So, 1 triple crochet into the first stitch. Okay, I'm not going to miss that tiny stitch next. I always miss that guy. He's so tiny. The next stitch, we did triple crochet. We're going to put 1 single crochet into the next stitch. Now, the next stitch will be our increase stitch. That's where we put 2 stitches into 1. And since we just ended in a single, we have to keep the triple crochet, single crochet repeat going. The next stitch will get 2 stitches, but it's going to start with a triple crochet into it. And then it's also going to get a single crochet into it. Now that should be the repeat for round 4. Let's go ahead and do it again. So the next stitch should be 1 triple crochet. I gotta make sure I ain't missing no stitches. I'm not redoing this round 100 times because I can't see. Triple crochet. The next stitch will be 1 single crochet. And then the next stitch right here, the tiny guy, I see him this time. It's going to be our increase stitch. It'll get 2 stitches. And since we just ended in a single, and this one that gets 2, we have to start with a triple into it. And we also, after the triple, must put a single into it. Yes, that will be the repeat for round 4. Let's do it one more time. So we're going to triple crochet into the next stitch, just 1 triple crochet. And the next stitch, oh, there you are, little tiny guy. We're going to put a single crochet, just 1, into that one. And then the next stitch will be our increase stitch, where we put 2 into 1. And since we just did a single, that means we have to do start with a triple into the next one. But we also have to put a single into the same one. And we're going to repeat this all the way around. Again, don't miss those tiny guys. I kept missing them. Triple crochet into the next. This is the repeat again. 1 single into the next. And the next stitch is our increase stitch. Tiny one right there. And it's going to start with the 1 triple crochet into it. And it also gets a single. Alright, so I'm going to keep repeating this pattern all the way around for round 4. It's triple crochet, single crochet, and then triple single into the next. Triple crochet, triple single into the next. Make sure you keep a lookout for those tiny guys. We don't want to have to redo this row. Maybe you guys got it on the first try. I sure didn't. We'll have 48 stitches when we make it to the end of this round, and then we're going to be switching colors and starting on the flower. All right, I'll see you in just a second. All right, so I made it to the end of round 4. Don't tie off though yet. And you should have 48 stitches. Your last stitch should have been a triple crochet, then a single crochet into the same stitch. And we're going to go ahead and end round 4 by slip stitching into our first triple crochet. What I'm going to do now, one more round with this color. I'm actually going to chain 1. I'm going to flip it back around. Now this is the front side of our work, all right? I'm going to go around and I'm going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch. That way you can see the stitches, because they're kind of flipped in the opposite direction. Just be easier to flip them back up. So I'm going to go and I'm going to work around and I'm going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch. So you just might have to flip your work over like that, and you go 1 single in every triple and 1 single in every single from the previous row. And you need to make sure that you keep your 48 stitches when you make it back around. This would be the end of round 5, and then we're going to switch colors. See, that brings them up to the front. It's just going to be easier to work in them that way. All right, I'm going to work around, no increasing or anything, just putting 1 single. Remember, you might have to flip your work a bit because the stitches are kind of laying on the back side, and that's why I'm doing this row of single crochet, to bring them up to the front, so it's easier for us to work in them. And just make sure when you make it to the end of round 5 that you have your 48 stitches still. It's very important that we keep at that number so we can proceed. All right, I'll see you in a second. All right, so we made it to the end of round 5. I still have my 48 stitches, so I got 48 single crochets. I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into the first one, and I'm going to clip this color off. I'm going to switch to, I'm going to use yellow, but you can use whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead, since now this bumpy side is the front side of our work, I'm going to go ahead and take that beginning tail. I'm going to pop it to the back so it's not in our way while we're trying to work. So maybe, just maybe. I'm having a time today for some reason. All right, so I'm just going to kind of just stick it through there like that. And then I'm just going to take it and I'm just going to hide it real quick. Just go around the center circle and pull it tight. That'll help close up the circle as well as hide your tail at the same time. And I'm going to go back 1 time in the opposite direction. Here we go. I'm going to clip that off now. All right, so that one is done with. Okay, so there's the base or the center of our flower. Now we can go ahead and start making spaces for the leaves, or the petals, I guess. Petals. So I guess this will be round 6. All right, let's go ahead and start round 6. Whatever color that you're going to be using for your petals or flower portion, you can start in any one of these single crochets that you like. I'm going to start away from this area. So just grab one and go ahead and pull your yarn through. And we're going to chain 1. Now we're going to go back into that same stitch, and we're going to do 1 double crochet into that stitch. I'm going to try to hide that tail as I go. So there's 1 double. Oh man, I don't know what my problem is. 1 double back into that very first stitch that we just started into, and then we are going to put a double crochet into the next stitch. So we just did 2 doubles in a row. Now we're going to do a chain of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not like a real loose chain, but not like a real tight chain. Just kind of get it as even as possible. Chain 4, and we are going to skip 2 stitches. Skip, skip, and we're going to put a double crochet into each of the next two. So we're skipping that one, going to the next one, and we're putting a double crochet and then a double crochet into the next. So this will be the repeat for round 6. Considerably easier than round 3. I don't know why I had so much trouble. Again, we are going to do just, normal chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We will skip 2, skip, and put 1 double crochet, skip, in each of the next 2. So, no increasing or anything, just double crochets and chains. 1 in that one, and then 1 in the next, and repeat it again. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, skip 2, skip, and 1 double crochet in each of the next 2. So I'm going to go ahead and repeat this pattern all the way around for round 6, and I will meet back up with you when we have 2 stitches that remain. All right, so I come to the end of round 6, and I have 2 stitches that remain. I'm going to go ahead and do my chain of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, skip those 2 stitches, and I'm going to end with a slip stitch into my first double crochet. And you should have 12 of the chain 4 spaces, all right, and each one of those spaces are going to be for our petals. So round 7, now we will begin working the petals of the flower. Maybe, just maybe. All right, let's slip stitch over to the first chain space. All right, so we just slip stitch into that double. Let's slip stitch into the next double, and then one more time until we get into the chain 4 space. All right, okay, we're just going to chain 1, doesn't count as a stitch to start. Now this is how the petals are going to be made. In this chain space, we're going to work 3 double crochets. There's 1, 2, and 3. We're going to put 3 triple crochets in here, but on the middle or the second triple, we're going to add a picot to the top of it. All right, so we did 3 doubles. Let's yarn over twice. 1, 2, and we're going to do a triple. 1, 2, 3. So that's 1 triple. Let's do another. Yarn over twice. 1, 2. That's 2 triples. Now remember, we're going to do 3 total, but on that second one, we have to do a picot. So what we're going to do now is chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to slip stitch right here into the side of that same triple crochet. And that makes the picot stitch, which is that little ball or that little point on top, like that. Now we're going to do our third triple. So yarn over twice, go into the same spot. 1, 2, 3. So we have done 3 doubles and 3 triples and a picot on the middle triple. Now we're going to finish this out here by putting 3 more doubles into that chain space. So there's 1, and there's 2, and 3. Now, but we are not done with the flower just yet. Okay, so that's what goes in the chain space. Now we are going to work around the post of the second double crochet here. We're going to be working post stitches. If you've ever worked a crocodile stitch, you know you kind of work around the post stitches. So not the first one, but the second one, we're going to work 6 double crochets around that. So we're going to yarn over and stick our hook in there, but you want to put it towards the top, and we will work our double crochets down the post. Okay, so to make it easier, I think it is easier if you just fold your work in half like that, and you got your hook around the post, and we're going to work 6 front post double crochets. So that would be number 1, 2, 3, there is 4, sorry about my dogs, there's 5, and there we have 6 front post doubles around that second post. So now we're going to work 2 double crochets in between here. So what we're doing is we worked around that post, and we're going to kind of slowly work like this in a circular manner. So I'm going to go into the same stitch as this first double crochet right down here. See that? I'm going to yarn over, but I'm going to go from the behind like this, if this makes sense. So it's awkward at first, but really it gets easy. I'm going to hold my work like this. I'm going to yarn over like I'm going to do a double, and I'm going to go into that same stitch as that first double crochet, and I'm going to work 2 doubles. So there's 1, and to the same stitch again, I'm going to work another double. That. And now I'm going to do like a little flippity. And I'm going to work up this post here that we have not worked up yet, the first post there. And we're going to work 6 front post double crochets around that, but we're going to work like from the bottom and work our way up. All right. So I grab that post, it's just easier, kind of manhandle it there and pull it out there so you can see it, and yarn over and go around that post starting at the bottom and work your way up with 6 front post double crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, there's 4, there's 5, and there's 6. Now we can flip our work back around to the correct side. Or we should be back around. And that is what it kind of looks like. That's it so far. And this is what we're going to do all the way around. So we'll work what we do in the chain space, and then we'll do our little flippity around over these 2 and do it all the way around. So we're not going to do anything special here. We're just going to go and directly go into the next chain space and start our next flower. So we're going to go, or our next petal. So we go into it and we're going to work 3 doubles. There's 1, 2, and 3. So we're doing the same thing that we just did. And then we have to work 3 triples, but remember that the second of the 3 gets a picot. So let's yarn over twice, and let's do 1, 2, there's 1 triple. Next one. Oopsie daisy. Here's 2 triples. Now this one gets the picot. So we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And we are going to slip stitch back into the top, kind of like the side of that same stitch, like that. And slip stitch, and that makes that little point, or that little ball, otherwise known as the picot. And then we're going to do another triple, which will be 3. There's my 3rd triple. All right, and now we're going to finish out this chain space with 3 doubles. 1, 2, and there's 3. So that's what we always put into the chain space. But that doesn't finish out our flower. We got to do our little loop-de-loop thing. So we're going to go ahead, and these 2 double crochets here, we're going to go to the second one, and I always just grab it so I can fold everything in half, pull it up so we can see it. And I'm going to work 6 double post stitches starting from the top down on this one. So I'm going to go around the post and work front post double. There's 1, 6 of them. 2, 3, there's 4, 5, and 6. Okay, now we got to go in between the double crochets. So take your work and flip it to where it's facing you. So here's my 2 double crochets, and we're going to be working going into the same spot as our first one here. We have to go at it from behind, so we're going to yarn over and go behind the stitch, and then 2 out through the front of that same stitch like that, and do 2 doubles. So there's 1, and we're going to do that again. You're going from behind and then back out to the front side. There's 2, flip her around, and now we're going to work up the first double crochet here that we skipped, and we're going to be working our, grab it, pull it up so you can see it really well, our post doubles, but we're going to be working them from the bottom up, 6 of them. All right, so yarn over and go around the post starting at the bottom. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 6, and that flower petal is finished. All right, so that's what it's starting to look like. So we got to do this all the way around. So remember, we don't do anything special here. No slip stitching, no chaining. We're just going to go directly into the next chain space and repeat what we just did for our next petal. So one more time, let's do it. We got 3 doubles into the chain space. There's 1, 2, 3, and then 3 triples into the chain space, working a picot on the second triple. So there's 1 triple, there's my second triple. I'm going to do my picot. I'm going to chain 3. I'm going to slip stitch back into the kind of the side of that triple to form the picot like that. I'm going to go back in and do my third triple. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put 3 more doubles into the space. 1, 2, and there's 3, so that takes care of the chain space portion. Now we're going to come over here to our 2 doubles, the second one. We're going to work 6 post doubles around it. I just pull it out so I can see it easier. Starting from the top and work our way down. Go around the post of it like that and work 6 doubles. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry. There's 4, 5, 6. Now we got to work in between them. Flip your work to where it's facing you like this. But we're going to be going into the same stitch as this double, but from the opposite side. So yarn over like for a double crochet, but just go in between the 2 doubles and then out that same spot that doubles in, and work 2 doubles. There's 1, and into the next one is 2, and then we're going to continue to flip. And here's our first double that we did not work in. Now we're going to work in it. We're going to do 6 post doubles, but we're going to start them from the bottom and work our way up. All right, so go right around and work 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and there it is. Now we're back around, and that is our 3rd petal made. So we are going to continue this repeat of this particular petal all the way around. Here's these 2 are, you can tell, are done. This one is still have to be connected over here, but that's what they start to look like. So I'm going to go all the way around continuing this, and I'll meet back up with you here near the last chain space so we can finish it off, and we should have a total of 12 petals when we make it back around. Alright, so I'm coming to the end here to do my last little turnaround. So I did my 3 doubles, 3 triples with the picot, and 3 doubles into the chain space. So in these last 2 double crochets here, I'm going to do what we did before. So 6 down this side, 2, 3, there's 4, 5, and 6, and then 2 in between. Like that. And then 2 up this last double crochet that's empty. Starting at the bottom and working our way up. Not 2, 6, I mean. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that makes 6. All right, flip it back around, and we're going to go ahead and end. This is round 7 with a slip stitch into our first double crochet. Now I'm going to go ahead and clip this off for now, and you should have 12 petals. So you might have to fiddle with them a bit, stretch them out, you know. But yeah, that's what that looks like. All right, so now we need to put leaves. All right, so now we're going to flip it over, and we're going to be working on the back side. And we're going to make some chains to put our leaves on. You want to use the same color of yarn that you used for your petals. So we're just going to go ahead and start with a slip knot on our hook. Like that. And then we're going to be working, like I said, the back side here. Take your hook and kind of wiggle it through the center of one of these big petals here. And then pull it through that loop on your hook. Like that. Now you want to do a chain of 5. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to jump over here to the next flower petal, and we're going to do the same. And this is what we're going to do all the way around here. And these are going to form the chains that we put our leaves on. Slip stitch, chain 5, and then the next one, slip stitch, and chain 5. And we're going to do this all the way around. And since you have 12 petals, you'll have 12 chain spaces. And that's what we'll need. And by using the same color of yarn, it won't be as noticeable as if I used green. Alright, so continue that around, slip stitching in the middle of each of these petals from the back, and then chaining 5, and then we'll have a spot that we can start to put our leaves on. Alright, when you make it all the way around, I just chained 5 after working into my last petal. Just want to go ahead and end by just slip stitching into your first chain here. Just go right into the chain and slip stitch, and then we can tie that off, and we'll go ahead and we'll start making the leaves. You'll have 12 of these chain spaces. Get this taken care of here. Alright, so I believe that we're going to start round 9, which we're going to do the leaf row now. So whatever color you're going to be doing your leaves, I'm going to do mine in the green. So what we're going to be doing is squaring this off a bit. So we're going to have 4 sections of 3 leaves in each of those 4 sections. And in between the 4 sections, we will have 3 chain spaces and 2 single crochets. Alright, I'll show you what I mean. So you can start in any one of these chain spaces. Just go right through the space and pull your yarn through. And kind of get in the middle of it if you can. Chain 1. And then go back into that very first space here. And we're going to do a single crochet. That's our first single. Okay. Now we're going to chain 3. You don't want to do it too tight. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to jump on over to the next chain space. And we're going to single crochet. Like that. And we're going to chain 3. Again, not too tight. 1, 2, 3. Try not to make any of these chains here too tight. Now, our next chain space, we are going to do our leaf section. Okay, I'm going to be saying some stitches, and they're going to sound really, really extremely hard, but they're not. It's just the name is just really, really long. All right, so the first leaf that we're going to do is going to be a double, triple crochet 3 together. I know it sounds hard, but it's not. Let me show you how you do it. So for the double, triple, we have to yarn over 3 times. So we got this chain 3 here on our hook, all right? 3 times we're going to yarn over. 1, 2, 3. Always find it best to keep the loops as close up to your hook as you can. And we're going to go into that chain space, and we're going to draw up a loop. Now what we're going to do is we're going to yarn over and go through the first 2 loops on our hook. Yarn over and go through the next 2 loops on our hook. And then we're going to yarn over and go through the next 2 loops on our hook. And we're left with 2 loops on our hook. Leave those there. We're going to repeat what we just did 4 times. This would be number 1, all right? So we're going to have to slide them over like that. So again, we're going to yarn over 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Go into that same spot and drop a loop. And yarn over and go through the first 2 loops. Yarn over and go through the next 2 loops. Yarn over and go through the next 2 loops. That's 2 times, and you've got 3 loops now on your hook. Let's do it again. Yarn over 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Go into the chain space and drop a loop. Yarn over and go to the first 2. Yarn over and go to the next 2. Yarn over and go to the next 2. And now you have 4 loops on your hook, and you've done that 3 times. So we're going to do it once more. Yarn over 3 times. Go through the chain space, draw up a loop. Yarn over and go through the first 2. Yarn over and go through the next 2. Yarn over and go through the next 2. So we've done that 4 times, and that's going to leave you with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on our hook. We are going to yarn over and go through all 5 loops. We just did that. Look how easy that was. Double, triple crochet 4 together. Easy, easy as pie. So that is our first sleeve of 3 that we have to put in here. Now the next one is going to be a bit taller, but we need to chain 3 in between. 1, 2, 3. All right, next one, we're going to do a double, double, triple crochet 4 together. Did I say 3 together down here? This is a double, triple crochet 4 together. And now we're going to do a double, double, triple crochet 4 together. I think that's what it's called. That's what I call it. So it sounds like super hard, but it's not. It's the same thing that we just did, except for we're gonna wrap 4 times now instead of 3. All right. So we got that chain 3 that we just did, and we're gonna wrap 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're gonna go in to the same spot. Draw up a loop, and we're going to yarn over and go through 2 loops, and yarn over and go through the next 2, and yarn over and go through the next 2, and yarn over and go through the next 2 until you have 2 loops that remain. There they are. Easy. Same thing, except we yarned over 1 more time and we went through 2 more loops than we did on the double triple. So we want to do that 4 times. Are you ready? Yarn over. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gone into the same chain space. Draw up a loop. And now we're going to yarn over and go through the first 2. Yarn over and go through the next 2. Yarn over and go through the next 2. And yarn over and go through the next 2. 3 loops on our hook. And we've done that 2 times. Remember, you might have to keep sliding them over. All right, let's do it again. Yarn over 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go into that space, drop a loop, and we're going to yarn over and go through the loops 2 at a time. Yarn over, go through 2. Yarn over and go through 2. Yarn over and go through 2. And yarn over and go through 2. And now we have 4 loops on our hook. And then we've done that 3 times. 1 more time. We have to do that. So let's yarn over 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same spot. Draw up a loop. Yarn over and go through 2. Yarn over and go through 2. Yarn over and go through 2. 1 more time. Yarn over and go through 2. That's going to leave us 5 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over and go through all 5 loops. And you did it. How easy was that? You did the double, triple crochet 4 together. That's what I call it. So I think that's what it is. We're going to chain 3 after that. 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to put 1 more leaf in this section, and we're going to do the double, triple crochet 4 together. It's 4 together. If at any time I said 3, I apologize. I mean 4. So we're going to make this leaf again. So this time we have to yarn over 3 times. Go in, drop a loop, yarn over and go to the first 2, yarn over and go to the next 2, and yarn over and go to the next 2. All right, so that was 1 time. Got 2 loops on our hook, yarn over 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Drop a loop, yarn over and go through the 2, yarn over and go through 2, yarn over and go through 2. There's 2 times, and we got 3 loops on our hook. yarn over 3 times, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. That's 3 times, and now we have 4 loops on our hook. You can do that once more, yarn over 3 times, draw up a loop, and yarn over and go through 2, yarn over and go through 2, yarn over and go through 2. That will leave us with 5. Yarn over and go through all 5, and there is your other double, triple crochet 4 together. And that is our leaf section. So now what we have to do is chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now, not too tight. And we need to a single crochet into the next chain space. Like that. Let me look, let me look. I'm going to make sure it works out okay. Let's do a chain 4 after that, alright? After the leaf and before the leaf, we're going to do a chain 4. This one's okay, alright? But 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to come down here and single crochet into the next chain space. Like that. There we go. Yep. Then we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3, because this isn't going to be connected to a leaf. We're going to single crochet into the next chain space. Like that. Yeah, that's better. All right. Now the next one is going to be another leaf section, because we have done 2 single crochets. And like I said, we're going to do a chain 4 before the leaf and after the leaf section. I know we chained 3 here. That's okay. We're not going to redo it. Chain 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the next chain space is this leaf section all over again. Let's do the double, triple, 4 together. Yarn over 3 times. Draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the next 2, and yarn over and go through the next 2. I need to do that 4 times. That was number 1. Yarn over 3 times, draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the next 2, and the next 2. That's 2 times. Again, yarn over 3 times. Draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the next 2, and yarn over and go through the next 2. That's 3 times. One more time. Yarn over 3 times. Draw up a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2, yarn over and go to the next 2, yarn over and go to the next 2. It's going to leave you 4 loops that remain. Yarn over and go through all 4, and there is your double, triple 4 together. Let's chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to do that big leaf. We're going to do the double, double, triple 4 together. Ready? Yarn over 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And into the chain space, draw up a loop. We're doing it just like we did before. Yarn over and go through 2, yarn over, go to the next 2, and next 2, and the next 2. So that was 1 time. We need to do that a total of 4. Yarn over 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Draw up a loop, and we yarn over and go through 2 4 times. That's 2. Done that twice. Okay. Wrap 4 times. Draw up a loop And again, yarn over and go through 2 4 times. So there's 3 times we've done that. Let's do it once more. Wrap 4 times. And yarn over and go through 2 4 times. And that's going to leave you with 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over and go through all 5, and there's your double, double, triple, 4 together. Did it? Let's chain 3. 1 2 3. Now we're going to do the double, triple, 4 together right here on the other side of the same chain space. So this is a yarn over 3 times. Drop a loop and yarn over and go through 2 loops 3 times. 1 2 3. So there's 1. Same thing as the first leaf. Five loops, yarn over and go through all 5, and now you have completed that leaf section. Now remember, it's a chain 4 before and after every leaf section. So 1 2 3 4. Come over here to your next chain space in the back, and we single crochet. And now we're going to chain 3 because this one's not going to be connected to any leaf section. And single crochet into the next chain space. Now we have to chain 4 because this one's going to the next leaf section right here. So we're going to keep repeating in this pattern. As you can see, you've already got 4 leaf sections, or 2 leaf sections made. And in between the leaf sections, we do the chain 4, and then there's a chain 3 here, and 2 single crochets. And it's going to be the same. We did chain 4 here, 2 singles, here's a chain 3, and we just chain 4, and we're getting ready to do another leaf section. So I'm going to repeat this pattern. I'm going to finish out my final 2 leaf sections, and I'll meet back up with you. Alright, I'm coming around here. I just did my last set of leaves, chain 4 afterwards, and I'm going to go ahead and end by slip stitching into my first single crochet. Tie this off. Don't need that color anymore. Well, I won't anyway. Alright, so if you take a quick look in the back, you're going to see that we have partially squared it off. It's semi-square. So we got our leaf sections, and in between the leaf sections we have 3 chain spaces. Okay, well, let's see if we can do some more making it look like a square, won't you? Whatever color you're going to use to go around the outside, go ahead and grab that and we'll get ready for that. Alright, so we are going to start. Corners of our squares are going to be done in our double, double, triple 4 togethers right here at the top of them. See that spot? That's where we're going to put our corners of our square. So we're going to pull your yarn through and chain 1. So since we had to make that leaf so tall in order to see it past the petals, we are going to work in this space 2 double crochets. There's 1 and 2, and then we're going to chain 2, 1 2, and we're going to go back into the same spot and work 2 more double crochets. So that will be one of the corners of our square. Alrighty, so let's see what we're going to do. Alright, in this next space here, we are going to work, let me think for a second here. You're going to work 4 double crochets. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Now this space down here, we're going to work 4 triple crochets. So yarn over twice, because you see how it's dropping down. We got to try to square that off. So we're going to put 4 triples in this space. There's 1. Triples, I'm sorry. 2. 3. 4. All right, here, 4 triples again into this space right here. One, 2, 3. 1 more. And that's 4 triples into that space. Okay. Okay, we're going to put 4 triples into the next space. Triples. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the space between our big leaves, these are going to be double crochets, and we are going to be putting 4 double crochets here in between the big leaf, in between these leaves right here. 4 doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we're at our big leaf right here. So we got to do a corner in the top of this tall leaf. So right here in this spot, it's going to be the same as the other one. It's going to be 2 doubles, a chain of 2, and 2 doubles. So there's 2 doubles, chain 2, and 2 more doubles. All right, so now we're going to work what we just did all the way around. Let me see how straight we got it. Don't worry, we're going to go around again. Hey, but that ain't looking too bad. So this round of squaring off is pretty much, we're putting 4 doubles on each side, in between each side of the big leaf, and all the rest are chain spaces are 4 triples. And then in the top of the big leaf, it's 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles. So the only spot that gets the doubles are right up here around the big leaf, because that is the tallest spot. So we'll start again, and we're going to put 4 doubles into this next chain space that's after the big leaf. Like that. Now, all these other chain spaces are going to get 4 triples until we get up here next to the big leaf, and then we'll switch back to the doubles. So triples it is, 4 of them in each space. For that one, jump over here to the next chain space. 4 triples. Sorry. So there's 1. 2, 3, 4 triples there. Next chain space, still 4 triples. We only do the doubles up beside the big leaf. So 4 triples into this one. Alright, there's my 4 triples. Now, since we're up by the big leaf, we're going to be working the doubles. 4 doubles into this space beside the big leaf. 1, 2. And then we have to make the point of our square, which is in the space on top of this, of our big leaf. So right there, and it is 2 double crochets, just like the others. Chain of 2. And 2 more doubles. Back in that same spot. And we have another point made. Alright, and we got to put 4 doubles on the opposite side of the big leaf. Like that. Alright, now all these other chain spaces are going to get 4 triples, of course, until we get right up here. This will be 4 doubles. The corner will be, this will be the last corner. Chain, or 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles, 4 doubles here, and the rest will be 4 triples. And then I'll meet back up with you after we do our last set of 4 triples. I'll meet up with you at this last chain space, okay? I think it's looking okay. All right. All right, I'm coming to the end. I did my 4 triples there. And here's where we started, in a corner of our tall leaf. So in this last chain space before the tall leaf, it's going to get 4 doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to end by stitching into our first double crochet. All right, I'm going to go around again, square it off a little bit more. I'm going to slip stitch 1 time into the next double crochet, and then 1 more time into the chain 2 space. Now this time it's just going to be straight up double crochets all the way around. Double crochet in every stitch, and 2 doubles, chain 2, 2 doubles in each of the 4 chain 2 spaces. All right, so I'm going to chain 1 to start, and in this chain 2 space it will get 2 doubles. There's 1, 2, and we're going to chain 2. Sorry if I was off camera, and 2 more doubles. And now no more triples this time. All right, it's going to be all doubles. And we want to go into every single stitch and work 1 double crochet until we get to our next chain 2 space. Just like this. So this is what I'm going to do all the way around. I'm going to be working, just remember, it's just strictly doubles this time around. 1 double crochet into every single stitch. And then when I make it to my next chain 2 space, I will put 2 doubles, a chain 2, and 2 doubles. And then I will continue along, putting 1 double crochet in every stitch until my next chain 2 space. And there I will do the same. 2 doubles, chain 2, and 2 doubles. And I'm going to repeat this pattern until I make it all the way around back here to where I started. All right, I have made it to the end. I'm going to end by slip stitching into my first double crochet, and I am going to clip this color off. If you want to continue going around, by all means, go around in the same manner that we just did. I'm going to finish off with a row of single crochet, but I'm going to use gold. So you could start in any chain 2 space that you'd wish. And I'm going to work a chain 1. And I believe I'm going to do 4 single crochets in the chain 2 space. There's 1. Slide it over. 2, 3. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. 4. And now I'm just going to work around putting 1 single crochet in every stitch, and then 4 in my chain 2 spaces, and that's will be my last row for me anyways. So I shall continue. I am sorry I keep going off camera. It's very hard to look into a screen and crochet at the same time. So I'm going to work around putting 1 single crochet into every stitch, and then whenever I get to a chain 2 space, I'm going to work 4 single crochets in that chain 2 space all the way around until I get back to my starting point, and then I'll slip stitch into my first single crochet, tie off, hide any tails, and that's where I'll meet back up with you. All right, there it is. After you're finished, that is the square. I hope you enjoyed my tutorial. Don't forget to hit that like button. Leave me a comment below. You know, that always helps feed the algorithm. It helps me out a lot. If you make this or something with it, I'd really like to see a picture. You show a picture on my Bagoday Crochet Facebook page. Link to that below in the description box. Hey, and if you like what you see, you could hit that subscribe button. I got tons and tons of tutorials, so check them out. I'll see you guys on my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.